Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at Mill. Now, this would be my first time playing Mill because I really don't enjoy it. However, I wanted to give it a try simply because we could have a discussion about how to beat this type of deck. I've been getting comments basically ever since I started doing YouTube for Gwent that, Mill was really tough for certain people, and how do I beat Mill? It seems impossible. Mill's taking over the ladder. Well, we can talk about it a little bit. So in order to understand it, we can go over the strategy here. Basically, it revolves around bringing the opponent's deck down to 0 cards, even if it means going down several cards mid-game, so that late game they don't have really any cards left in deck. And what it comes down to is us just being able to play points and them not being able to play points at all. And throughout the process, we really hope with RNG to pull some of their best cards out and mill them so that they cannot be played. So the whole strategy of this deck is disrupting their strategy and squeezing by with a few points to win. The deck is very slow tempo, and I really don't think it keeps up with the meta right now, but you will find some matchups that are kind of good, and those matchups are just the ones that are already thinning themselves, because the sooner that we can thin, then the sooner that we don't have to worry about playing super slow tempo plays, like things like the teleportation and stuff like that. We can get into more of our bread and butter plays being our top gold end. So that's kind of the idea, right? So to go over the strategy here, this deck has Curse Scroll, so we can draw a card of choice. There's a lot of cards we need to make things work, so we have this in round 1. Now, more than often, we're going to be pulling into the Operator so that we can make a copy of the Kingslayer, so that we can then go make additional copies of the Kingslayer with things like the Duchess Informant, and of course the Artorias Vigo into another Duchess Informant or Kingslayer, and then we have the Brathens as well to do the same thing, and then we have the coup de grace to basically coup the Duchess Informant and then make another Kingslayer. You can kind of see the trend here. Basically every turn we're just trying to play Kingslayers until we really feed down their deck. Now, once we've exhausted those ways of going about it, right, trying to get down our assimilate engines as early as possible with the Artorias and the Brathens. Maybe we even go and put down a Sergeant first too, as a backup, just for a nice long round tempo. It has a little bit of value there because of the deployability, right? Everything we play is deploys, so this will get some good value. But again, just basically getting the assimilate engines out of the way, then we can go and we can replay these cards again with the teleportation. We get another couple pulls and a couple more Kingslayers, and then once that's out of the way, we can sort of focus on more of our other routines of getting things done. If we held them in the round long enough, we can go ahead and play something like the meta. Obviously we want to try and mill out some high-end gold cards first before we go and take meta. Otherwise, they'll just pull into those cards, and it sort of takes away from some of our strategy, right? So there's that. We have Tibor, which is like one of our biggest tempo plays, right? We put 13 points on the board, they take a card out, so it gets a mill and a point slam in one turn. And then you have things like Vilgefortz. If the opponent goes super tall to try and pass us or win the round uneven or whatever the case, we have a last effort with it here. Obviously using this on melee every single time, destroy an enemy unit, then your opponent summons the top unit from the deck to a random row. So we have that to thin it out and act as a tall removal. And then we've got even further with the Cantarella to go and play the top card from the opponent's deck. So just all in all, that's basically how it works. Our point swings are going to come from the Snowdrop leader combo, and obviously the Blightmakers and the Mage Assassin combo. I have 2 Assassins and 1 Blightmaker because we can make other Blightmakers with things like Vigo and with like Brathens into Duchess Informant if we're playing against Nilfgaard, for example, and make another Blightmaker off that if we need to. Otherwise, Snowdrop just top decks the Mage Assassin, right? We pull it, and then we can just put it back with the leader, and then it will summon itself. So that's kind of like another way to get it done, and just a way to save provisions here so we could put more into our strategy. Now, a couple things. You could play Remedies. You could play double Duchess Informant. I kind of like one of both. It runs pretty smooth, right? We put the first Kingslayer in their grave round 1, and then we can access it later. And, we don't run into a situation where we have like a Duchess, but nothing to copy, which is kind of important, right? We don't want to be giving them free points, so that's why I have it there. If we don't get our operator into our Kingslayer, then we just have a remedy that we can use flexibly and grab something else that might be worth more points, right? So there's ways to go about it that way. Obviously, Graveyard Punish is the goal of it here too. Matches like Skellige, they work at developing the graveyard, so even if they don't have a lot in their deck, maybe they take back something that could still win them the game. We're able to shut that down. So that's basically it. And lastly, I haven't touched on Renew, but Renew is basically play a unit from our graveyard with a provision of 9 or less. So we're going for either the Tibor, the Mata, or the Vilgefortz. 9 times out of 10, it's one of two. It really depends. Do we need a tall punish, or do we need a point slam? If their deck is empty, we can go with the Tibor, right? Because it'll be playing an uncontested 13 points. If we're just down by like 30 points, let's say we're playing against Vi or something like that, we can take out their Vi and then, you know, obviously bring out like a really low card on their side of the playing field and get another mill. So that's kind of the idea. Now, I don't want to give the wrong impression. I did win some games today, but I don't think that the deck is supposed to win a lot of games. And what I mean by that is, I think people are so accustomed to seeing this leader ability and seeing this strategy and then instantly forfeiting or panicking when they play and then making mistakes that would have costed them the game when they really could have won it. So to get into the sort of strategy to beat this deck, what you want to do when you see mill, or you suspect that it's mill, oftentimes buy the Cursed Scroll and buy the leader, right? Just use your gut. And basically what you want to do is you want to put cards back in the deck that are thinning cards. So if you're playing like Blightmaker combos for yourself and stuff like that's really going to help thin out your deck, you want to tuck that back so it makes mill have a tougher time to actually mill you, right? Because it's a very slow tempo play and a slow tempo deck. So if you can just put down a bunch of points without thinning, then you have a huge advantage because, like I said, there's some turns that are 0 points, like the operator, right? This is a 0 point turn if you're playing 4 and you're just dropping it again. Unless you have Nausicaa's on the board, then maybe you get a couple points, but even then it's not very good, right? So you want to be able to out-tempo them and put your thinning cards back. You want to make sure that if you have tutors like Oneromancy and Amphibious Assault and things of that sort, that you don't use the Echo if you're going to use it once. I think it's fine to use it once because maybe there's something you need to pull in round 1 in order to actually win the round. That's fine. However, when you get to round 2, if you're looking to 2-0, you definitely want to put something like that back because it's really not going to help you going into round 3 if they successfully milled you because, you know, what are you tutoring at that point, right? You're playing a 0 point turn and it's just helping mill out. Now, I think there's always a reason to push mill because I think mill has so little points. And oftentimes you'll beat mill on even in round 1 if they go first, or you tempo pass on mill in round 1 and maybe they have to play down 2 or 3 cards and they've used like all their best plays. So that's kind of the idea. So they don't really have like the resources necessary to push in round 2, and if they do, it's really kind of impeding their ability to have anything left for round 3, and I think you should be fine. But basically the main goal is to not get milled, right? So don't take thinning, put your echoes back. Like I said, when you use your point swings, make sure you actually try to go as wide as you can opposed to going as tall as you can, because you can really suspect that they have something like Yen because it's just such a good card for its provisions. You can expect that they have Vilgefortz, and you can probably expect that they have ability to renew it. So this deck has multiple tall punish, but it has very little in the way of wide punish. So that's basically what it comes down to. But in this video here, I have as many games that I really felt like playing, and we won some, we lost some were just ridiculous. But I thought I'd share the experience with you guys. I don't recommend playing it, but if you are interested in that, here's the video for you. And if you're looking to beat mill, then this is how you're going to do it, so you could see things from the mill's perspective here today. Now, if you enjoy the content that you see, don't forget to sub to the channel. I just came out with a new Patreon about a week ago. You guys can definitely check that out as well. The link is in the description, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new upload. All right, so we got Enslave up here. And it's going to be 5. We go first, pretty nice. I don't know how I feel about the Nilfgaard mirrors, though. We got the quick win. Alright, we'll try this one out again. We got Imprisonment up next. Now, if they're playing like a thinned out assimilate deck, this should be kind of good for us, right? Put this back for now. They might mill us though, which is also an issue. Put that back so it's a good target for them to copy. I think Blightmaker's just the reasonable thing to play. Just because it looks like it could be anything at this point, right? Sort of sets the tempo a little bit. Now we start.
Time to get our hands dirty.
They're gonna queue the Blightmaker. Sure, I suppose that's fine because they're thinning more. They're helping us out. Now they can't make copies of that. We got to be a little bit mindful here. We'll take this. And then we can just sort of play them freely. Now, that makes for a good Vilgefortz, right? They probably use it to boost the fur cart. This is going to be really good for us because they're taking so much thinning. So, like, this is one of the matchups that we like. Okay. 31-17. We have to hold the minute longer. So this is what we do. Now, it's unfortunate that they obviously have the Artorias with that because it's like a really good target for their Terra Nova. They could just be Masquerade Ball, actually. It's got to be just replaying one of these, doesn't it? I think they should have locked the Vigo. They would have been able to kill it in the same turn. We've got one more here. Maybe we can dig deeper with this. So, actually doing alright. This is too slow. If I coup that, it could actually be enough. What's in Graveyard? Okay, so hear me out. Coup that. Then we'll play Renew because I think it's worth it. Then we'll play this.
Time to get our hands dirty.
Kind of smart. We got out of it pretty well. We're only down one cart, so now we're supposed to push, right? We have things like Tibor, Mata, Cantarella. We'll see how it goes. My priority now is thinning. It's not so much anything, or not thinning, thinning them. Okay.
Here's our chance.
How many Blightmakers do you have? Oh, I guess it's only the two because they cooed mine. So we get away with playing one teleportation, that would be cool. And then maybe Snowdrop will give us something better. That's really good for us here too. They won't have any cards last round. So we just take that.
We follow Letham's lead.
So we're already at the point where we get the card back.
There is but one punishment for traitors.
Okay, they're gonna have nothing left. It's gotta be Snowdrop here, I think. Maybe not Leader, because maybe Leader's gonna be like a point slam, but... Put that back. We'll put, the Joust back too. Yeah, we can wait on the whole Leader thing. Even if they lock it, Snowdrop's fine. It doesn't really do anything. Actually, in fact, we just take this out because it trades well. And then we'll just coup the Snowdrop. Okay, they did play. That's fine. Let's see here. Actually, we can remove the 12 with poison if we want to challenge it. They clearly take the 13. There's not really a lot they're going to be getting from us here. I'm in a spot where we have to use Leader because I need some more stuff to mill. There we go. So we'll put the 1, 2, and probably the 3 back. And then we can play that. And then we can take the Tibor, and we can poison out the Fangs, I think. Okay, it's Cadaverin. We draw 3, they draw 1. So they'll be at 5, we'll be at 6. It's really unfortunate that we missed Cantarella, though, because that won't do much for us in round 3. I think we're supposed to still take that. Probably afford to trade this here, too. They took a hero pass, we just play Brathens, right? There. We bluffed it. Alright, so for the first game we got Monsters, Overwhelming Hunger, and I'm thinking that it's probably going to be either some kind of meta breaker or it's going to be Vi. Vi is pretty popular right now, so... So what I'd like to see would be Operator, I think, here early. Renew's not bad, but it's not really a round 1 play. I think we can afford to put back Renew for now. Brathens is pretty good. So we do have some stops to win the round. Don't get me wrong. If I was to draw my tallest card, we wouldn't have had... Yeah, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, then 4. So we don't have Kingslayers now, but we can get them. Maybe it's just a matter of playing Cantarella. That's actually a really good play, because I think a lot of what's going on with their deck revolves around that one card. And before they go in, they take it, right? We kind of want to deal with it this way. See, Squirrel, what do they have? Not really the best pull, but we can get better ones here. I want to save some of the win conditions just in case. Like, if we lose round 1, no problem. We still have to win the game. So, I think extending the round's pretty good. You kind of want to use that early. And we can wait as long as we need to take out that were-rat. It's not really going to be a big problem, right? So they're playing a beast swarm, I think. Because they've got a lot of beasts. They've got this whole play going on. So I think it's actually time to take it out. Destroy an enemy unit, yeah. And it kind of puts us ahead, does it not? It's not a lot of points. Now we get pretty good value on the Blightmaker. I think we're supposed to take leader here because we kind of want to put some pressure on. So we'll put 1, 2, and it's probably going to be 3 back. Now we get his Kingslayer. Teleportation. This is essentially like no points, but so I feel like we could afford to go in a little bit more here. They're down to 7. If I play, I lose. So I think I have to pass. And that's like a lot of their payoff stuff too, like out of the way. Yeah, we'll take the pass here. They've got 7 cards, but they do have Onero, which makes it bad for them. And then we have, obviously, the Vilgeforts. They put the tallest unit top deck with Doldu Locks, so we can go ahead and we could just remove that one way or another. I think we'd take Vilgeforts here with the Renew. Not having Operator around 1 sucks. This is kind of one of the reasons why I don't like playing it. But if we're on blue, it's actually very good, so... And on the pass, we play Sergeant. Okay. I think we should be okay. I do, but we'll see. So that's pretty tall. It's kind of worth it. And all their control should be out of the way, right? Toad Prince, Karathi. that's just going to be something we take. I think Brathen's is like a win condition here, so 10 points. We just go into something like this. We got to be careful about our spores. That's actually a huge swing. So we might be able to brick something though. What's more points? It's gonna be this.
Everyone has their secrets. Everyone.
That's the idea, yeah. Because the deployability. And then if it's Triss, we lose. If it's Talisman, we probably lose. If it's anything else, we have a chance. Okay, sure enough. We'll see if we can work some magic here. It's gotta be the Harpy. And then last turn we just take a 12, don't we? We get 2 out here. Alright, so we got White Frost coming up next. We could pretty much guarantee we're going to lose on even here. I think the Nautikas have to go in a case like this. We want to be forcing as many mills as possible, especially if we're on blue, right? Everything here has a purpose, except maybe that can go. So we need to play something first. We have to go and play maybe... Well, it's got to be something like Cantarella. It's kind of nice. Pull that because we need it. If we're putting something back, it's going to be... Just get rid of that for now. We can do that whole play later. Coup is kind of important. We'll pull Brathen's next. Actually, we'll try and mill first. We got to get that whole thing set up, right? And we'll just play, mill, kind of thing. I wonder if they ever use a Toad Prince and eat that. A lot of these decks are running Toad Prince, right? We take this because the heal.
Time to get our hands dirty.
So I think they're a Mamuna version. So then the second one doesn't matter, I guess. Take this as well and just play it.
Here's our chance.
We're not really getting good cards. We're getting just bronzes. So they are devotion. Obviously, being Frost, you'd expect it, but... I think what we're supposed to do is make a copy. If we're going to give them points... We'll do as much as we possibly can here. They play this on the wrong row. You really want to play it on the row opposite to Frost. I think we just go ahead and play another one.
Get our hands dirty.
Getting a bruiser is kind of nice. We'll take this and hope for another one.
Read this. It's
That's even just as fine, right?
To stick my nose where it doesn't belong.
Gales, that's kind of one of the cards I don't want to... So they pass here. 3 already. Nothing we can play. I think it has to be Snowdrop here.
Listen to me sing, damn it.
My men know the meaning of sacrifice.
Something like that. We'll put 1, 2, and 3. And then I think we play this anyways. So 3 cards down with our leaders spent. Like, it's not a good deck. And like, we're doing what we're supposed to do too. Like, one thing you could do for points is maybe put Kolgrim in the deck. But then you're taking out a mill. Actually don't mind Yen. Yen's kind of good. Like, how do you play into this here? Like, we have to mill a couple times. We'll try. It's got to be Brathan's first, because we need to see something first before we take the Vilgeforts. This is kind of nice. So we'll do this. Don't remember what game that's from. Maybe the one where they just forfeited a couple minutes ago. We didn't play it. Okay, this is nice. That's got to be one of the ones we take, right? Doesn't matter about the score at this point. So we're supposed to take the Tibor.
Are you cold, human insect? It won't be long.
I like how we just we just give them an engine, no big deal. So what do we have left for round 3? Just actual bronze cards. We need a gold card, I think. But we still... Like, we're 3 cards down, but we're technically not... Like, we're 2 cards down, yeah? They'll pull the 1. So they'll have 4, we'll have 3. Okay, that's not horrible. It just feels bad, because it's my first time playing like this. But they have all the leader... Why do they use the leader charge? Okay. So 4 and 3. It's possible, but we know they have Oberyn, right? This does nothing. This does something. Okay. We do play this first. We'll wait till they push something. I think we do just take this, right? We shouldn't win this game. Like, this is not a win. The Auburn plays like 20 points. And then I think it's... Actually, Dead Mamuna is probably the play, right? Still lose. We have to hit the king. Yeah, we still lose. Actually, if it's Mamuna, we don't lose. No, we do. What am I saying? Because they consume. Yeah, with Mamuna without order, we lose. Or we win, rather. There you go. Alright, so we got Inspired Zeal up next. So this is a little bit slow. We want that. Now we need to make copies of it, which is okay. We'll put one of these back for now. I think we actually put back this one for later too. I just want to make sure that we have what we need. Operator feels bad, but we want to set up, we really want to set this up. And then we'll just pull out the Brathens. And we'll put back the Nausicaa. I think it's a little bit too slow. I don't want to have all that set up for round one. I just want to play. Commandos! That's kind of cool. So round control is important for us. Let's see if we can mill them down a bit first. I feel like Brathens is probably important here. But then again, so is this, because if we can get out of Pavetta... So it might be Commando Siege, and this might be the compromise to make it work. Having like a 4 provision, or they're 5? Yikes. I always thought there were 4. I don't really run these, like, by themselves, but... It's alright. See if we can actually scoop something here. We want the 6. I'm convinced we do. But at the same time, we don't want to have the order for them. I think we just take it anyways. It's more points. That's actually a good play. We'll just go ahead and take a bit more of a tempo play here.
I hate nothing more than a creaky door.
Yeah, definitely siege. So we got 2 teleports, Kingslayer. I don't like the idea of Yen into Cantarella. I don't think we do that. But then again, we kind of want to play it dirty, don't we? It's the whole point of this. I suppose that's a funny tech to have. Maybe they play against a lot of mill. There's Pavetta. That's the one we wanted. That's huge. Now we just need siege and we're good. Problem is that, like, literally these teleportations are 0-point turns, which makes it, like, really that bad. It makes it really tough. I think we get the 0-point turn out of the way.
Time to get our hands dirty.
Igni. Now they have Oniro, which is going to help us. Okay, full test comes out here. We have to take that, unfortunately. I don't want to, but we have to. Or we could just actually accept... No, we'll just accept the fact that we're... Like, Pavetta is gone, you know?
Here's our chance.
And... Yeah. Like, they get 2, but... There we go, we take it. Yeah, that's not really that bad. We should be able to get card back if we push. 16 cards in deck's pretty nasty. So we'll put that back. Put that back. And that should be decent.
A highly curious case.
Now, they might have put back the Oniromancy. We'll take a Tibor here, I think. Now, the issue... Okay, we're going to have to take Snowdrop next, because I need something else that's going to mill. Like, we need to see something. Because we're close, but we're not there yet. We'll do the whole Snowdrop leader thing, I'm sure. I suppose that's fine. Because Ku's not doing anything right here for us.
Snap and done. Heckling kill.
Not all battles need end in bloodshed.
There we go, couple good pulls. 1, 2, and 3. So Vigo has a couple good pulls, a couple bad pulls. I think we should be good. Like, there's these two that we want, ideally. And they've got 3, so we gotta mill at least one more.
Music marries cultures, connects folk to one another.
Up by about 20 points. That's a pretty good reset, too. They should have taken out the Snowdrop just in case, right? We'll go play the Vigo here.
Regret this,
So if I'm choosing, it's going to be Blightmaker.
no good wine will come from here. Not even
Just for the actual points, right? And then 17-point lead here. We probably just have to pass on that. They pick 2. I think Siege actually makes it. I think, is it a commando in hand? Because they can't pull in from deck. I thought they would have had 2. Scorch hits for 12. They pull 1, so then we even up. Interesting. But then we're just left with this. 5 points is better than 4 points. We need, here, let's put this whole thing back, I think. We play it slow. It's gonna be bin, I think. Yeah. Because it really doesn't matter. Like, either way we lose that card. They take the 6 here, plus whatever that equals. I didn't see... Amphibious. I just don't think we have the points. Like, what we have to do is we have to go and make the informant copy first, take this, use this, deal the 2 damage, and then play the full test the final turn. And I'm hoping that they just have like a warfare card that does nothing, right? So I guess they're just roping because they're upset. Like, I don't blame them. I don't know if we actually win this, though. And so they just, yeah. Okay. So with that being said, we just go and make a copy. It does no damage. So it hits a tie. Alright, so we'll go with one more here. Got 1 and 2, we got 3, it's pretty good. I think we just focus on the mill, right? Put these back. This is good. We'll pull the operator that we need. Q's good. Again, this is not the priority, right? It's not about winning the round, it's about milling. Okay. So it's gotta be just open with a Kingslayer. That's a nice pull. I think it's gotta be... I think it's gotta be Operator. Just because we have the coup. Put this back, because it's not doing a whole lot for me here. It's okay. I guess it's whoever mills harder, because we're playing against Assimilate. It gives spying.
Time to get our hands dirty.
We have a guaranteed coup off that. It's actually a pretty good coup.
I bring death, quite literally.
Let's see if we can get some Assimilate value.
What is truth, if not an illusion?
It's probably... yeah, let's get some procs going. And then we have a couple... Really? Alright, let's try another one here. I feel like the other game is too short. Usually I do like an hour video and it's not going to make for much content if I don't. I got 1, 2... Let's put that back for now. This is kind of nice. We pull it. Okay, we'll put that back. This might actually help us get some tempo to not lose on like 3 cards down, you know? Maybe this is the hand that I'm looking for. Maybe we don't... I suppose we could put that back if we're going to get Operator. Don't want to risk Cantarella. We want to wait till they play something first. I don't mind just using this. Card to draw. I think we want to use... We'll take the operator here just so that we have it. Put a card back in the deck. It's got to be... I think it's renew at this point. We're not going to play it in this round. They thin out so well that it's good for us. If we had a target matchup, it's this one. We don't have to win the round either, we just have to win the game, so... If it lives, we replay it here. It's too good to pass up. You'd love to see it. That's a good pull. So far we have the one really good pull, right? Being the Selkirk. I want to see if we can somehow get Siege out of the way though. Don't think we will. I'm surprised there's so much focus into this. We'll let them take the thin.
Just a peek. That is all I need.
There we go. I think now we're getting into the good stuff here. Do we ever just play the original? Probably.
Time to get our hands dirty.
Now, it's not as bad as it looks. They play Siege here. We still keep going. This feels bad, but you know, we do it. Okay. I don't think we ever actually win this round. They really don't want to pass. We just play this again. And we want something to... Okay. What do we care to remove? Doesn't matter. We did pretty well, I think, for Mill. We just didn't have it in us to get the round. Like, even if I took Yen on a 20, it's not enough. Okay. I need units to play. That's actually pretty good. If they float that, we're good. We're good. We're actually really good. Works out quite well. They don't make it to round 3. It's probably just this for tempo.
A fine vintage it would have made.
Now, to start off with the Assimilate, play like the stuff that's not very expensive. Actually, I could do this. I don't see why not at this point. We take the second one. it just plays for like way bigger points. And then maybe we recomp the hand. Don't need either of those, actually. I suppose that's fine. I gotta play something less good, so I think we take leader here. Yeah. We'll put like... I think Yen goes back. Because they won't have anything we want to take. I think the Joust goes back too. And then we just play this. Because that way Yen off like the last Amphibious is really good. And we play this anyways because we have the card advantage. There's no way they 2-0. Even if they knock the 8, right? They should have held the card, but I guess they're probably going to forfeit here. Yeah, the last card's Amphibious, so it'll play for nothing. So it doesn't matter what we play. Yeah.